Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mary Jo from MaryjoesCreations. And it is, right now for me, it's Monday, February 2nd. Which, it's still my birthday. So, I decided that I was going to work on this. If you saw yesterday's video, you know that, I was almost done with this. All I really need to do is finish the, I don't really know what this is called. The border, the trim. And, I needed to know how thick I was going to do it because I wanted to add buttons. And I decided that I'm going to add 4 buttons. So I made the buttonholes right there. And now I'm going around this side. So now I get to the part where I'm decreasing, and I'm just not decreasing. I'm sorry. I'm not decreasing. I did up to here, shaping. There we go. I believe that's what it's called. I have no idea. I just do it. I don't know. I'm sure there are proper terms for it. I just do it. So I am doing shaping. And what I'm doing, because I want this part wider. Sorry about that. Okay, so since this part down here has to be wider, and I didn't want the neck portion to be any wider than it already was, like, you know, to be extremely wider, I decided that I'm going to do single crochets. So right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing single crochets all the way back down to here. And then I will do the double crochets all the way down. And this is where I'm putting the buttons. So, you know, I'm not going to, I just want to keep this here because that way I'll know exactly where to put the buttons once I'm ready to put those buttons. So, and that will be the last thing I do with this, will be putting the buttons on. That's the last step. So that's what I'm doing right now. And it's kind of late. I honestly did not, after I filmed yesterday's video, I did not do much, because I was kind of tired. I had a long day yesterday, and I honestly didn't want to because it's my birthday and I didn't feel like it. Like I said, I've been, you know, I haven't been doing much today. I only worked on this once, and I was able to go all the way around and then figure out where exactly I want to put the buttons. So now it's just, I'm going to do one more round now of the half double crochets, because I do like that spacing where the buttons are to be a little more secure. So before I start doing the single crochet, that's why I needed to figure out where to put the buttons, because I think I'm only going to do 4 rounds of the half double. It should be enough, but I will check that out. Right now, this is what, the 3rd, which is where I made my buttonholes. And then I'm going to do at least one more round of half double crochets. And I say at least because it depends on how wide the band is going to be, right? Because most people do ribbing. I don't like ribbing. I've never liked ribbing, which is, you know, another reason why I was never really into buying sweaters and cardigans, because I was never a big fan of ribbing. And now that I can make my own, I'm going to do it the way I like it. And I'm sure that there are people out there like me who might not like ribbing. So I do my bands a little bit different. And normally it's one second. Normally it's anywhere between 3 and 5 rounds of half double crochets. It's never a set amount, because for me anyway, unless I'm doing the exact same project, right? But if I'm doing like different cardigans, you know, with my hexies, it depends on the cardigan. It depends on the hexie. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5. It all depends on how big I want that band. And, you know, if I'm putting buttons, if I'm not putting buttons. It all depends for me. For whatever style I'm doing at the moment. So for this one, I'm not sure yet, because it will honestly all depend on how wide it looks when it closes. Because it has buttons, so I want it to close, right? I want it to close and not have to stretch it a lot, right? Now, this is an oversized sweater, so it it is a little baggy, but I want to make sure that when it's not closed, it's kind of like almost overlapping. And so that when you do close it, you're not stretching too much on the buttons. And, you know, for me, because I am very top heavy, I do always tend to make mine a little bit more oversized because of that. So that's what I'm doing right now. And once I'm done with this one, I'm going to go back around, and because I turn my work, so I'm going to go down all the way till the end, right? Work this corner, go all the way to the end, and then I'm going to turn it and come back this way. And after I do, and that will be the 4th cluster. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3. No, this is the 4th. So it will actually be the 5th. And that should be good enough. Because that's right. I did. Right. So, wow, I didn't realize that. So I realize what I did right now. So that's 1 half double, 2, 3. This is the 4th half double. So I did the buttonholes on the 3rd into the 4th one, which I thought was the 3rd one, to be honest with you. So it'll probably be the 5, and that will be it. because I honestly thought I did it on the second or on the third, but I actually did it on the fourth round. So that's all right. It's no big deal. If I don't like it, if I think it's a little too thick, then when we recreate this cardigan, to double check the pattern, and we are going to size down, period, because like I said, the back square was a little bit too big for what I was looking for. I wanted to make kind of like a large, and this is turning out to be more of an extra large, maybe even bigger than that. So we're going to see. But most likely what's going to happen is I'm going to go one more round of half double crochets, because I do want to have half double crochet on top of that buttonhole that I made. And then most likely it'll be 1 or 2 rounds of single crochet. Now, normally when I do the band around the whole cardigan, the trim or whatever it's called, I believe it's the trim, but when I do the trim, I like to do the same amount on my cuffs, if that makes sense. And or like if I'm making a sweater, like my birthday sweater that I made, the cuffs, the collar, and the bottom are always, I try to match them so that it looks, cleaner. That's just my personal preference. That's how I like to do it. So that's what I'm going to do here. And if I do 5 rounds, which I do like my sleeve cuff a little bit thick like this, right? So that's actually good that it's 5. It's going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So 5 with 2 double crochets is going to be perfect for the sleeve cuff. I like that. So I think 6 might be too much, but we're going to check. I think 5 with the 2 rounds of single crochet is going to be perfect. But we will check that once we go all the way around. And I'm already on the bottom. So, and this is a very big cardigan. So it's going to take me a minute to go all the way across. This is huge. I don't know what is it with me and making everything like bigger than what it's supposed to be. But this is where I started. So I have all of this to go. And then, we're going to go back around this way. So then we're going to come back around this way and go all the way around with 1 more round of half double crochets. And then we're going to do singles all the way around. Now, you can put your, let me know what you think down at the bottom. And I'm not sure, but I think I might want to put a hoodie on this. Put a hood on this because I love hoodies. If I can be in a hoodie all day, I would. I love hoodies. But I've only made, I think, 2 hexie cardigans that have hoods. And all of my other cardigans don't have hoods. Now, this is the first one I'm making in this style. And I know not everybody wears hoods, so that's why I don't, and then there's a time to wear a hood and there's a time not to. There are some cardigans that just are much nicer without the hood. And if I want something that's kind of like fancy, that, you know, shouldn't have a hood on it, for whatever reason, then, you know, I want some of those too. But I kind of leaning towards a hood. Then I'm also wondering how I should do that hood, right? So should I do it in just granny stitch? Or should I make 2 granny squares and connect it somehow? I'm not sure. So I'm going to finish this cardigan, right? And then once it's finished, then I can figure out whether or not I want to put a hood on it. So if you think that it would look nice with a hood, you can put a comment down in the comment section and let me know what you think. I would like to know what you think. But that's something that will be the absolute last thing that gets put on if I decide to put it on. And I still have, like I said, 1 more round of half double crochets, and then half a sleeve and a whole sleeve. Now, that's why, like, I'm debating too, because my sleeves are not granny squares. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make my sleeves just in granny stitch. And I think that now the more that I think about it, I think that the hood would look nice that way too. Like with just granny stitch so it matches the sleeves, maybe. So that's something to think about, right? And that's just what I'm going to be working on right now. So I'm going to go work on this right here. And okay, that's coming along nicely. And I'm almost at the end. So I really only have 1 more full round of half doubles and then 2 rounds of single. And then, like I said, I will start working on the sleeves, or finish 1 sleeve, which I need this red to do that. And I did have to tie on another skein of red because I used up all the red that I had the other day. That was in my count for, so for this sweater, I looked at my labels again, and for this sweater, I completely used 2 skeins of yarn. And, like, the hot pink is almost done, and these other pinks are still pretty decent, but I did use a lot of the red. And, you know, I wanted to focus on the red because it is a Valentine's Day sweater, right? So I wanted the pinks mixed in, but I did want the red to be more prominent. I wanted the red to stand out a little bit more because it's Valentine's Day, you know, why not? And even if it's not Valentine's Day and you want to wear a nice, beautiful pink and red sweater that has hearts all over it, knock yourself out, because I will. This isn't something that, you know, in my opinion, this isn't something that you would just wear on Valentine's Day. If I feel in a lovey mood and I want to, throw on something, like I wear a lot of black, right? I do have other colors, but the majority of my pants are black. And the majority of my tank tops are black. So it's fun, like when it starts warming up and, it's still too cold to go outside in just a tank top, but it's okay to wear like a sweater or a cardigan, and, you want to add a little color to it. And this, I think, would be really cute. And the more I think about it, I really do think I'd want to put a hood on this. I think that would look really cute. I will, however, take a picture of it before I put the hood on. And what I might do now that I kind of want to, well, I don't think it would really matter. Because I don't know if I was just thinking, once I finish the hood, right, I'm going to want to do a border around it to blend it all in. And most likely it would just be with 2 rounds of single crochet. Most likely. Or like I could do like 1 round of half double crochet just around the hood portion itself, and then do like 2 rounds of single crochet. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I would do it around the whole thing to like make it look so it looks cohesive. And I would be adding 2 more rounds to the width of the band. So, I wouldn't want it to be too thick either. So the question is, do I want to do, now that I'm pretty sure that I want to put a hood on it, right? Do I want to do like just the single round of, just a round of half double crochets? And then do the hood, and then do the single crochets all the way around? That's the question, right? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Before we even go that far, we are going to do the last round of half double crochets, because that is going to get done regardless, right? And then after I do the last round of half double crochets, I will see how wide the band is and if that's how I want to leave it. Because, again, I want to do the band width the same as the sleeve width, right? And that's okay, because I can always make my sleeve a little wider. I don't care. I love those like thick cuffs on the sleeve, because if you know, like, I like long sleeves and big cuffs and all that. So if I do decide to add another half double crochet, right, it's no big deal, because, I mean, 2 rows of single crochet, that's no big deal, because I can just add two rows of single crochet on the sleeve cuff. But then I want to make sure that I have the hood figured out, right? So I'm trying to think of whether or not I should do the hood first, or maybe I could do this. No, because when I do the sleeve, I mean, I could do the other sleeve and work it down. The sleeve that's almost done, I'm just gonna, it's gonna end off with the red. So I can always do the other sleeve down to the same length as the one that's already done, and then work on the hood. And I don't know if I should make the hood one solid color, or if I should do like the granny squares, like the sleeves, and do them in different colors. I think I might be leaning towards doing it all in red, so that it's not so busy like the body is and like the sleeves are, and just have a red hoodie. I don't know. But I am going to figure that out, apparently, because I have to figure that out. I think I should figure that out before I finish the sleeves. Okay, so I'm going to finish this last round of half double crochets. And then, well, now I'm trying to think also, like, should I start working the hood into it right now? Right? Instead of tying on the yarn to do the hood, I can start doing the hood on this pass. But would I want to do that? Or maybe on the single crochet pass. Start the hood that way. Go from the single crochet, when I finish, go up to single crochet, then start getting the hood done. And then, okay. All right. Now, I know this is completely different than, well, I mean, yes and no. I do these crochet and talks where I crochet what I'm doing and, you know, talk about random or sometimes not so random stuff. But I don't think that, like, I've had a whole video where I sit here and actually contemplate and show you how I come to the conclusion of my finished product. Because this is really what I do, I mean, at least this time I have the camera on, but I talk to myself all the time, like, okay, should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? Maybe I should do it like this and add this to it. Or maybe I should do it like this and add this to it. And, again, when I'm designing my item for the first time, that's really what I do as my entire process. I don't go in like, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and that and this and that, and that's how it's going to go. And I follow, no, that's not how my creative process works. It never has. And I do a lot of other things, like I've made jewelry, I paint, I do other crafts, I cover boxes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I've always been a very crafty person. And I always had that creative process with everything that I've done. So crochet is not much different. I pretty much go in with a basic idea, and that's as far as it goes. And then as I go, that's when I figure out the accuracy of it, or I guess maybe you could say logistics of it. I don't know. I'm tired, so my brain isn't functioning very well at the moment. But I have always like a general idea, and I know some people sketch it out and stuff like that. I can't sketch. I can't draw. I mean, the extent of my sketching is making trees. Don't judge. I can't draw. I couldn't draw to save my life. I can sketch a little bit, but not very well, and only certain things. So trying to sketch out like a design for clothing, no. I don't, unfortunately, have that ability. So pretty much I see it in my head. And I have an idea of how I want it done, like with this cardi. I knew I wanted granny squares. I knew I wanted one giant granny square in the back. And 4 in the front, right? 2 on each side. That was the extent of what I was sure that I wanted. Everything else pretty much just goes on feelings. Sometimes I'll want to try one thing, and if I do that, like, okay, with the squares, that was technically my fault because I didn't take into account the space that I needed for my neck in the back. So when all I was thinking in my head was that they needed to line up, the 2 front squares needed to line up with the back squares, with the back square. What I didn't realize was that meant the top had to be the same size, and then it would match up completely and there would be no space. So that's why it ended up being too big. I'm right now, because I had to make the back panel a lot bigger than what I wanted. And that's okay, because I'm actually liking it a lot, even though it's like super big. That's okay. And it's also a great learning experience because I realized something that I didn't think of, and now when I remake it, I'll know exactly what I have to do to get it the size that I want it, right? So for me, it's, whatever, like I made it too big, okay. No big deal. I'll wear it anyway. And that's okay. Give me 1 second. 1, 2, 3. I was just doing my corner. And I just like to put a stitch marker because that way I just don't have to count when I'm doing it, right? So when I go back around, I don't have to worry about looking and counting. It's easy. I just know when I get to that stitch marker, that's what I have to do. And I like that. So what was I saying? Yeah, so my thought process is, like, I never filmed myself creating something like I've been doing lately, or like I'm doing, especially like I'm doing right now, because I don't know. I don't know if y'all want to hear me ramble like a crazy person, talking to myself, trying to figure it out. Because that's how I figure things out. I, kind of like discuss it with myself. And, that's just how my creative process works. And if I do something and I see that it's not coming out the way that I want it to, I rip it back. No big deal, because at least I learned that that's one way not to do it. And so, I don't know if y'all want to hear me figure shit out, or if you just want to watch me crochet and not figure it out. This isn't by any means a tutorial. First of all, I'm not there yet. Second of all, I don't even know what the hell it's going to look like. So, we're just figuring it out as I go. But if, I had said in yesterday's video that what I would like to do is I'm going to be taking one project. Actually, I think I'm going to pick for the week. So, I'll pick like 4 or 5 things that I want to remake. Most likely it'll be a selection of things. So like it'll be something big like a cardigan or a sweater, and something small like hats that I want to redo, or bandanas or anything like that. And I want to pick anywhere from 3 to 5 for a week, probably 5. And the reason why I say 5 is because, I'll have a different variety. So if I'm making something that's large, and sometimes I just want to take a break from the large item that I'm working on, especially towards the end, because, it's not like in the beginning when you start these squares, it takes you, depending on to get to the size of the square, it can take me like 30 minutes to make a square, and then I make another square. So even though I'm working on the same exact project, I'm starting all over again. So it's like I'm making something new. And once I connect all the squares together and you start working with something big like this, it gets heavy, right? It gets really heavy. And so sometimes when you're working on this, you want to take a break. And you want to work on something that's a little bit smaller that'll get done fairly quickly. Now, for me, that's like hats and ear warmers. Normally, I can crochet a hat within an hour, hour and a half. It all depends on the yarn and the size of the hat, right? So I've noticed that when I'm using chunky yarn or when I'm using double-stranded yarn, it does take me a few minutes longer than if I'm just, using 4-weight yarn. But I think the longest a hat, the fastest I can do a hat is about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes, something like that. I don't know, I haven't timed myself in a while, and normally hats, I've been doing like in car rides when I go out with my friend. When she drives, like if I need a car project, it's usually a hat. Unless I'm making squares, and then sometimes I'll take those with me. But for the most part, oh shit. What did I do? See, I fucked up. Oh, sorry, I messed up. All right. Yeah, I took that off and didn't even realize that I was supposed to be doing single crochets here. So, that's okay. Single crochet right there. And we're going to single crochet all the way down. And then we're going to put this on. Once this is all done, and we're going to see how it looks and where I want to start the hood. And I've used, thank God, I do have a lot more of this red. I didn't want to use it all for this because I did have another project in mind that I wanted to use red for, but if I have to, wait till I can buy some more, then that's what I'll do, because I really do want to put a hood on this. And I did want to make a Valentine's Day blanket. They would probably kind of match this cardigan, to be honest. But I was also wanting to finish that whip from Christmas, which is my Christmas hexie. And I don't know how much red I'm going to need for that. And to be quite honest with you, that's where I took this red from because I didn't oh geez. I didn't want to walk into my cold house and go all the way to my workroom, which is actually the coldest room in the house, because it's in the front and it's where the windows, it's where I have the most windows, and it gets really cold out there. That front room is the coldest. That's why I've been working in here. But anyway, I didn't feel like walking all the way across the house to go to the cold room to get a skein of yarn. So I used the red yarn that I have in here for the cardigan that I was making. The Christmas cardigan. And I know, it's January, and next Christmas is a whole year away. And I know that I don't need the Christmas cardigan right now. And I can wait to do that. But I also didn't want to hold on to that whip for that long, because I already have one whip that's way longer than I ever wanted to have a whip for, which is my blanket. And it gives me anxiety thinking that that blanket is there. And that I can't finish it because it's ice cold in that room. And I don't want to sit there, to be quite honest. Now, hopefully, when the temperatures go up and it's not, 4 degrees outside, and it's like, I'll be happy with 45 degrees outside. Then it won't be that cold in there, and I can sit there and finish that blanket, which is giving me anxiety. There we go. Okay. I like that. All right. And that's where my button's going to go. And that is a perfect size. I mean, honestly, I could have I should have probably done it on the second and not the third. Actually, I did it on the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I did it on the 4th one, so I should have done it on the 3rd one, but that's okay. I can change that in the next one, because this one is for me, so I like it this way. When I redo it, to make sure that, oh, hold on. One second, guys, 1 second. Give me a second, because is that how I want to do it? Yeah, that's chain 1. Or do I want to do it in the chain 1 space? Or do I want to do it there? How do I want to do that? There we go. I think I'm going to do it that way. All right. I'm going to do it that way. What was I saying? I don't know. When I redo the pattern to test it, make sure that the count is right, make sure that everything's right, or in this case, I'm going to downsize it and tweak it, right? So that's really what we're doing. We're either recreating it to, make sure that what I have written down, I can follow and I can recreate it. And we're tweaking as we go. So when I remake this one, I might do the band a little bit thinner. And I probably won't put a hoodie on that one, so that I could have one with a hoodie and one without. And it won't be Valentine's Day themed either. The next Granny Square cardigan that I'm going to make will probably be just a regular colors, whatever I might want to do. Maybe some neutrals, maybe not. Now, if anyone would like a Valentine's Day cardigan, you can always go to my website and send me an email, and we can work something out. But that would probably, I could take a picture and put it up and do it made to order, but I will not be making another one another Valentine's Day cardigan right now. The next one will either be some light colors for the spring, or I don't know, if I like it, maybe I can always do it like in greens for St. Patty's Day. Or I might, you know, do it in different colors. It all depends on when I want to make another one, right? So that's also another decision that I have to make, which, 1 second, guys. Which ones do I want to make first, right? Oh, and that's what I was saying. So I'm thinking that I'm going to go through all my books, and I'm going to pick 5 things that I want to recreate. And then once we get all that done, or like the small ones done, then we can, you know, because there are things that I want to make, right? I want bandanas, I want bookmarks. So once we've recreated all the small things, we can add some of those to the list of what I want to do for the week. And I want to have like 5 items picked out, and then see how many of those 5 items I can get done within that week's time. Sorry. Honestly, I lost my voice yesterday from screaming. Oh, my eyes are so itchy. I need to take my allergy medicine. I'm all over the place from screaming and singing when I was watching Aladdin. But anyway, right now, what I need to do is try this on. And then I need to take a break, because it's almost been an hour. And then I'm going to see how much more I want to do today. I believe it's 7 something. I don't know. But I might work on this more off camera and then show you little clips here and there. If you don't mind this being in like, because I think that I already have 2 parts of this segment with the cardigan. I might make a little video. I don't know. If it's, you know, if I see that it's too long, and, you know, if I want to film myself doing the sleeves and the hood, then it might be another part. And I should, you know, if you guys like these long segments where it's like each thing has, you know, 2 or 3 parts, as long as it takes to finish. Or, you know, if you don't want that, then again, I can start the process and then finish it off and show you the finished product. I don't know. I don't know anything. To be honest, you tell me what you like to watch. If that's what you want to see, if you don't mind, I don't mind. I don't mind filming this. And again, if you like this style where I'm figuring it out along with you, if you don't mind seeing that, then when I do pick those 5 things and I start doing that, we can do videos like this. And you can see the process as it goes and figuring it out. Let me try this on. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. It is huge, right? Like, I think I can fit, you know, almost 2 of me in here. Like, I look so huge. I mean, I'm not a small girl, but you know, it's really big. It's really big. But I do like it. Now, I think that's going to be fine. It's very baggy. With the buttons on it. And then, hold on. Where's my clip? There it is. I have a lot of hair. All right. And the hood. See, I think it would need more space for the hood. Actually. That's where I started to decrease it. I mean, the shaping. So... and the buttons. I thought I put the buttonholes on this side, on my right, but I didn't. Okay. Don't know. Don't even, like, really know what side they're supposed to be on. But anyway, so my buttons are going to be on this side. So I button like this. I honestly don't know if I should put a hood. And I would probably start the hood from here. Because I like big hoods. And the one on my Halloween one didn't come out as big as I wanted it to. And again, I'm not really going to know how this falls until the sleeves are completely done. So... I'm going to go think about it for a second. I need to take a break anyway. And I think it is thick enough like this. And then with the single crochets, it'll look really nice, right? So actually this will go like this, right? Let's pretend that's a button. And it'll go in through here. Let me know what you think. Because I'm pretty sure that this video, this segment is going to have at least one more video. Right? So I think that what's going to happen is this video is already running like almost an hour. I don't know how much more I'm going to get done on it. I might film a little bit more tonight. Well, I'll definitely come back and check in. Sorry, I don't know what is going on. But I'm definitely going to come back and check in with you one more time before I close out this video. And let you know how much progress. I might work on the sleeves a little bit, and I'll show you that. It all depends on how I feel. Again, I'm not trying to do anything rushed today because it is my birthday. And I'm going to relax and take a break for a little bit. It is 7:43. So I'm not going to be rushing to do anything. And I do have a cinnamon roll that I got yesterday for my birthday, and that's going to be my birthday treat. Because I didn't get a birthday cake. I wasn't going to get a birthday cake just for myself. You know, like, that didn't make any sense. And to be quite honest with you, I did not want to bake my own cake. So I got a cinnamon roll for me yesterday, and I am going to have that with a nice hot cup of coffee. And I'll be back. For you, dude, it's just a second. Promise. Hi, guys. Okay, so it's been a few days. Unfortunately, well, I think I started filming this on Monday, which was my birthday, and yesterday I didn't film because I was trying to, I didn't know if you wanted to see that process, and I honestly was just trying to get it done that I didn't film anything. So I did decide to put a hood on it, and I'll show you the whole thing when I'm done with it. But I am working on the very last sleeve. And I thought that I literally have what? Oh, see, I hate when, this is like the bad thing about making big projects, because towards the end it just gets to be so over, like it's so big, it's like so hard to work with. But I literally have one more row of granny clusters, and then my hook is over there. 1 second. Okay. Got my hook. It just gets so big that it's like a little hard to work on. Also, I didn't film yesterday either because I don't know, I haven't been feeling, I don't know, I don't know if it's the allergies along with the fibromyalgia, and I've just been feeling very tired and very drained. And I mean, I did have a big day on Sunday, and I was out all day, and maybe that just took a lot out of me. But yesterday I was just very tired, and I didn't crochet for very long periods of time. So it was like I'd crochet for a little bit and then I'd take a break, and I'd crochet for a little bit and then I'd take a break. I was very tired yesterday, and today too. I was going to start filming earlier, but I ended up, now you know, if you know me, you know that I really am not feeling well because I never take naps. Because if I take a nap, I normally can't fall asleep at night. But I was sitting here working on this sleeve, and when I tell you, y'all, I was like falling asleep while I was crocheting. So I had to go lie down and take a nap. And then a friend of mine took me out to dinner. She took me out to dinner for my birthday, which was so sweet of her. And, you know, I got home a little while ago, and I just, you know, took another little break. Because also, I don't know why, and I have to figure it out. But my left foot, and I have problems with this leg, especially with the fibromyalgia, but my foot, for some reason, if I'm sitting here regular without having my foot up, my foot's been swelling up so bad. So right now it's like I have it up on a little crate with a pillow, because earlier, and I only sat here for like maybe not even an hour, and my foot was so swollen when I got up, and, you know, numb and swollen, and it was bad. And I lied down for like a few minutes because like I was also like almost falling asleep. And, you know, my foot was all swollen. It's just, I'm just a mess, y'all. Just a mess. But this, I'm ready to be done with this sweater. And it wasn't bad, you know. Someone is sending me a text message. It wasn't bad, you know. It's not that it was something that took me long when it didn't have to. It was something that took me long because I just kept deciding to add to it. And I did figure out, I did put a hood on it, and I think it looks so cute. Now, again, it did come out very oversized, but I'm very happy with it. And I think that once this sleeve is finished and I try it on, it's going to be exactly what I pictured, just more oversized than I wanted. But, you know, again, that's okay because when I go to remake it, I know now, because I do want to make another one and in like more neutral colors so that, you know, I can wear it more often. But the next one that I make, I know not to make it so big. So I know exactly what I have to do to get it to the size that will be baggy, but not, you know, it'll fit right. So I'm okay with that. And again, like, I think I said this before. I know I watch a lot of YouTubers, crochet artists, and most of them do, hold on one second. I know a lot of them, especially when they go to make either a brand new project that they've never made before and they're following a pattern, or even when they make it for themselves. I've watched quite a few of them, and they always end up making it like a smaller size than what it's supposed to be. It always comes out smaller, and mine are always the opposite. I always end up making something bigger than what I wanted to. And I'm okay with that because, you know, baggy is okay. You know, oversized is cool. It's when, you know, it's too small and you can't wear it. It feels like a waste. But, you know, and then you have to take it apart because you can't fit into it. But at least baggy like this, you know, it's big enough where I can wear with a sweater underneath if I want. And it'll be good, you know? So I know that I didn't... Hold on one second, guys. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I just realized I won't be able to do this. Hold on. Oh, shit. Wait. Let me make sure. Let me count my rows. Because I have to be 19 before I decrease. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Perfect. So now I can start decreasing. Okay. So, and I probably should be doing this off camera. Or, I don't know. Because I kind of have to count. And I don't know if you guys want to sit here and watch me count. But I'm going to talk to you for just a little bit. and then I'll go do this. So, I know I was going to show you the process, but honestly, I didn't know if y'all wanted to see me, try to figure out the hood and everything else. So, and again, I kind of wasn't feeling good, and this video was already long, so the hood took me a while to figure out, and I didn't know if, you wanted another part to this. So, my question for everybody is going to be, the next few projects that I'm making, I think I had said this in the beginning of the video, I want to start redoing all of the patterns that I've made, right? And the plan is going to be like in the beginning of the week to pick 5. Now, I might not get all of them done depending on what they are. And it's also going to be mixed with stuff that I haven't made yet, like previously, right? Because I do have an idea for a sweater. And it's like a panel sweater, so it's going to have a front panel and a back panel. Again, if you don't know, I never do panels for my sleeves. I like to crochet my sleeves directly onto the pieces once they're sewn together or connected or whichever way I do it. Because I like the way the sleeves look when they're done directly onto the piece. And that's just my personal preference. If, you want to make panels and just connect the panels, that's okay. That's not what I like to do. I don't know, it just, to me, it looks nicer when the sleeves are done directly onto the panel. And I like doing it that way. So, I have a few ideas. I have one new sweater and a scarf that I want to make. Actually, 2 scarves that I've never made before. I was working on a scarf that I double-stranded it with pink and purple, and although I was liking the way the colors looked, I don't know, it was coming out a little too thick for me and a little too stiff. And I like to make my scarves really, really long so you can like wrap them around and like have that really chunky layer look if you want it. And I thought it was just going to be way too much with how thick it was. So I frogged it. And like I have a mountain of yarn spaghetti on my bed right now because I just decided to frog it. So I was doing double-stranded, so I have pink and purple on the bed. And I was thinking that maybe I can do one of each. But I do have V-stitch scarf pattern that I wrote that I want to redo. But I also wanted to do like a granny stitch scarf. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I am completely obsessed with a granny stitch right now. And we're just going to go with it, right? So I have a granny stitch scarf that I want to do. And I want to try making a granny square scarf. Now, I saw Kelsey, Passionate Kelsey, I watch her all the time. I saw her do one, and it was like, I think she did 2 squares, 2 squares, and then went up. But I think I want to do like just one, instead of 2 rows of squares, do just one giant square and just keep adding it and just have one square, right? One panel, if that makes sense, because I don't even know what I'm saying anymore right now. My head is like I'm tired and I am feeling, I don't know, like achy. It feels like it's going to snow. My God, my body gets very achy when it's about to snow, and my foot is like kind of swollen, and it's like a little hard to concentrate. I don't know what's going on with my body. It's like telling me I need to rest, I think. But anyway, I do want to make a granny square scarf. And there's a few new things that I want to do that I've never made before. So my thought is this. Every week, I can pick, let's say 5 projects, right? Because most of my projects are very big, right? And they take me a couple of days to make. So I'll pick 5. And out of those 5, I'll try and make as many as I can. If it's a sweater, it might take longer. Maybe I'll only get 2 projects done instead of all 5. But whatever doesn't get done can either get carried over to the next week, or we can put it aside and maybe like we can do that for like, let's say 3 weeks, right? This is the first week of February. We didn't do it because we were working on this. And yes, it is only Wednesday right now, but there are some things that I want to get done that are for Valentine's Day, and some things that I want to also organize and get together this week. So next week we're going to focus on, making stuff for Valentine's Day. And I have a few projects that I want to pick. And so let's say next week I pick 5 projects and I only get 3 of them done. We'll leave that list right to the side. And then for the next week, we'll pick 5 other projects to do. And if I get all of them done and I still have time, I can work on the other ones that I missed from the week before, right? And if I don't, if I only, let's say, do 3 or 2 projects, then that list gets put aside. And then the last week of the month, what I can do is do whatever was left from the projects that I didn't finish. Or maybe, it'll change. I don't know. You know me. It's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me 1 second. 1, 2. Okay, so I really need to concentrate to do these decreases. Okay, so I'll explain it to you, and then I'm going to pause you, and I'll be back when it's done, because I really do need to concentrate. Now, the way I did this, right? I did the sleeve. It's 19 rounds of granny clusters. And then when I got it the length that I wanted, which was 19 rounds, I started doing the cuff. And what I did is I'm decreasing as I go. Every 5th stitch, I decrease. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I get to the 5th round. So I'm going to do 5 rounds of half double crochet, decreasing on every fifth stitch. So every fifth stitch, I pick up 2 stitches, right? And I have it written down here, like this first cluster went from, I believe I started off with 51 stitches on the sleeve itself, right? And so it went down to 42. Then I'm going to have 35, then 30, then 25. And then, you know, the last one I think is 22 stitches. And then because I have very small wrists, like my wrists are very tiny. I literally can close my fingers on my wrist. And then I'll do 2 rounds of single crochet to finish it off. And when I get down to the single crochet, I'll come back to you, because that I don't have to think about. I don't have to do any count. It's just going to be the same way all the way around. And then we can check out the sweater and see what it looks like. Okay, so let me do that, and I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot to press the button. I finished the sweater. I'm sorry. I finished the cuff. I just got, like, so into it that I just, like, you know, I'm so sorry. But here it is. And I did put a little bit of hot pink. Wow, why is it coming out so bright? But I did put a little bit of hot pink, and you'll see why when I put it on. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I had to take my hair down because I can't put the hood up if I have my hair up in a ponytail. Now, I still have to add the buttons. I have to go look for some buttons. And this is what it's looking like. And like I said, it came out super big. I think I can fit like another me in here. That's how big it is. Like, literally, it's huge. I mean, I'm not a small girl by any means, but like, this is like, wraps around twice. And that's okay. But this is how the sleeves came out. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but that right there, the yarn spaghetti, because I took apart the... Now, once I get the buttons all sewn in, yeah, hold on. I think it is, I don't know. Y'all, I'm going crazy. I keep forgetting which side is which. I think this is the right side. Because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it is this way. I was right. Because I did the buttonholes on the wrong side. So this is what it looks like. And now, the red was a lot. So I did, and I don't know if you could tell, because again, it's dark outside, the lighting sucks. But I did do like a line of pink. Just because it was so much red that I kind of like wanted the trim to be a little bit different. And the hood I did make really wide, but that's just how I like it. But this is what it looks like. Now, I can't see what it looks like from the back, but again, I do have to put the buttons on, and then it'll close like this. I gotta figure out what side is the right side and what side is the inside. And I know I'm not the only one. Because there are quite a few people that I watch that they do the same thing. Like, wait, is this the right side or is this the wrong side? I don't know. But I think that this is the right side. Well, I'm going to go figure that out. And I'm going to go do the buttons. But it is finished. I have to weave in the ends. But as far as I'm concerned, it is finished. I need the ends woven in. I need the buttons sewn on. And I need the tag put on it. Okay, guys. I did it. I got the buttons on. Although, I think these buttons are a little bit too small. And I think they're too in. I think I need to, like, put them more on the outside. But I'm going to leave them for right now because I don't think I'm going to use these buttons. I think they need to be a little bit bigger, but I need to go get some because I don't have any that'll go with this cardigan that are the size I want. So I feel like it's pulling too much, like, up, and I'm not a fan of blocking, but I might do a little bit of blocking. I don't know. I have to figure it out. This is how it's looking. I have my hair up in a ponytail, which is another reason why I kind of do like making it a little bit wider, like longer, because that way if I have my hair in a ponytail, it'll still fit and it won't feel like it's like all the way over here, you know? But this is what it looks like. And here are the buttons. Just like that. All my ends are woven in. Hold on. Okay, all my ends are woven in. I don't know why it's doing this. I have to figure it out. I think it's because I didn't have it a wide enough space in the back where the panels meet. But that is all going to get fixed when I redo it. And I also think I should have just put a button up here. I can't add one now because there's no buttonhole. However, I can maybe add like a little hook. That would look cute, I think. This is what it looks like from the back. But like I said, I think the buttons need to be moved over a little bit because it does fold in the front on the inside. And I just think it would look a lot better if the buttons were moved over. But it's okay because, again, these have to be removed because they're way too small. And so that way, at least now I'll know where to put the button. I can just put the new button and then take this button out. I could do that. And now I know when I remake it what I have to adjust, right? So this is what it looks like. Tell me what you think. Let me see if I can, 1 second. Okay, I moved my little table out of the way so I can step back so you can get like a better view. And again, I think that the reason why it's like curving in the way that I don't want it to is because of the fact that I did not leave enough space for the neck hole. And it is like so big. But you know what? I did wear it out a little while ago, and I had a sweater on. My mauve sweater that I made, and it actually fit over the sweater. So that was like my big reason for doing it that way, right? I wanted it oversized, so that way if I have a sweater on, I could put this on and it'll be warm. And it was warm. I mean, granted, it was like 30 something degrees outside, so it's, for me, that's not very cold. Especially since we've been having like literally like below 6 degrees, minus 6 degrees weather, an average of like 8 degrees. It was warm. This is what it's looking like. Now give me a sec. All right. I did I finally finished. I don't know what I'm doing or saying. Ah! Okay. I finished the cardigan. Buttons are on and everything, as you saw. It's just, this is what I was talking about when I have to redo a piece. Because once you have it all put together, and you have it finished, and all your ends woven in, and everything is completed, that's when you really see exactly how the piece fits. And then if anything needs to be corrected, you can correct it when you remake it. Now, I think that it looks great. I'm going... I'm going to remake it again, and when I do, I know what to fix. Because the hood needs to be decided before we do any kind of trim, and the back needs to be wider, in my opinion. And that's why I say that before I release any patterns, I need to make the piece at least twice. Realistically, I would like to have 3 pieces done, right? So the first one is my prototype, and that most likely will always be mine, because there are going to need to be things that need to be fixed, right? When I create a brand new pattern. The second piece is where I make all the little adjustments, and that one most likely will also be mine, because it's not, I'm pretty sure it won't come out perfect the second time, right? Because we have to make the adjustments, and then we have to see exactly how it looks. And if those adjustments were, made it better and all of that stuff. And then if nothing else needs to be adjusted and it looks really good, then the third piece is going to be the one that we can go off of, right, to do the pattern. And that's at least how I see it in my head, how I think it'll work for me. And then I would be comfortable releasing it to have people try it to see if it actually works up the way it's supposed to. And sometimes if, let's say, that second piece needs a little bit more tweaking, then the third piece might be the third try might be the piece where I fix everything. And it all depends. It can take 1 more try, it can take 2 more tries. But I will feel comfortable releasing something once we have it down. And if you want to see me go through all those steps, I would love to do that with you. Let me know what you think about a series like that. Like every piece that I've made so far, we want to recreate and show that every time so that we know exactly what was done and what wasn't. Because in what was fixed, and then, you know, then we have the final pattern down the way it's supposed to be, then that's when I can go and I can, you know, have it released. And that's what I'm thinking. Now, if anyone has any ideas, because again, I'm so new to this, so if you have any ideas, I'm more than happy to have you share them down in the comment section. Or if you even want to, you can always send me an email. It's on my website, but I'll try and put my email down in the description box if I remember. But that's exactly what I mean by, you know, what do you call that? Wow, I'm tired. That, you know, the first time, for me, the first time is always to see if the concept works or not. And then I have to redo it to do the changes. I am going to make it again. It won't be in Valentine's Day colors the second time because, again, that one's going to be... I'm going to keep all the prototypes because I don't feel comfortable selling them. So the next time I do it, we're going to do it in different colors. Most likely neutrals, because I do like grays, blacks, you know, because I can wear them with anything. And that's what I'm going to be shooting for. The next one might be, you know, in lighter colors. Or even, I know one of them is going to end up being in black and gray. I just don't know which one it's going to be. But I really do love the way it came out. And let me know what you think. Thank y'all so much for watching. And I hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you like the video. And always appreciate you leaving a comment down below. If you're subscribed, awesome. If you're not, please subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me grow my channel, and I really would appreciate it. And if you really do like it, you like my channel, you can always hit that little bell, and it'll let you know when I'm on. And I will be posting on my social media too, and that should hopefully all be linked in the description below if I remember to do it, because I forgot in my last video, and I'm trying to figure out if I can add it. But I'm getting there. I'm starting to get the hang of it and organized, and I hope y'all stick around. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And I'll see you tomorrow, I think. Bye, friends. Stay safe, y'all.